I heard that a woman and a bird procreated, and that's how COVID started.
I heard it came out of a Primark changing rooms in like Southend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's legit, mate.
That's true. There was this one goth, right? This one goth that ate too much.
No, go on.
Yeah, so there's this one goth that ate too much Mackies, let out a little toot, and it was so rancid and dark and absent of light that it formed COVID-19.
It formed COVID.
I've seen goths make a comeback as well the last couple of years.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you could beat 15 goths in a fight?
No.
Nah, no chance.
I don't think I could beat one goth in a fight.
I'd be able. I reckon I could come out of a fight between one. But yeah, we just gotta be realistic about it. You know, goths aren't to be played around with.
Alright, I was gonna say I'm really glad I didn't say what was on my mind. Jesus. Okay.
So 100 men.
Yeah, versus one gorilla. What do you think? Have you seen this?
100 men versus one gorilla?
Yeah. Do you think 100 men could take one gorilla?
No, I'd like to gain like a greater understanding of the gorilla and see why it was angry.
We'd fight and I'd be like, listen, mate, this isn't you. I know you.
Look at me. This is not you. No, but yeah, I think once a gorilla calms down a little, you know, we could develop a great relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it could be like
the start of something beautiful.
Exactly. Is it Gosh, I wish I was better with names.
The one off. Who's the gorilla off? No.
No. The
Caesar.
Greatest comedian of arguably of our time. Passed away, unfortunately. He was actor, comedian.
Sean Locke.
No.
Robbie Williams.
Robbie Williams.
Yeah.
Robin Williams.
And was it Kiki? Mimi?
Robin Williams did a monkey film as well, didn't he? That's mad.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did a biopic as a monkey.
What?
Oh, Robbie Williams, he did. Yeah. Apparently he's like,
great.
Yeah.
That's what I know people that cried at the end. Anyway, sorry, he was
interesting. Robin Williams had like a gorilla best friend.
Really?
Well, maybe not best friend.
Is that like a Michael Jackson situation?
Oh, Bobo.
Kind of like that.
Jackson had Bobo.
But they'd communicate through sign, and like they had like this lovely relationship. Yeah.
Do you know people have been having sign language with chimps since the 70s, but no chimps ever asked a question.
Selfish fuckers, ain't they?
Oh.
It's all me.
Gosh.
That's deep, though.
Maybe they just don't want to chat to us.
That's true.
Yeah, they've got airing
Or is
scientists.
Can you imagine that? Imagine having no questions.
Well, maybe is it like they don't ask questions, or the way they ask it is like it's a demand as opposed to a question?
I don't know.
Like they just state their desires as opposed to asking if someone can help them.
How many desires do they have?
I mean, probably quite a few, being like, you know,
I'd imagine mostly the same.
alive.
Apart from like
Food.
career goals.
What, to have a car and shit?
No, well, a mode of going A to B, I imagine they're their own version of that, like a branch.
I mean, they've got it down pretty good when it comes to modes of transport. They just swing everywhere.
Yeah.
It's quite fun.
And they can go on all fours.
Yeah. Yeah, you know.
This is good shit.
If I ever
This is it, man.
Oh, man.
I don't actually have to intro it.
I thought that was the intro. We're actually on topic.
Oh, to be fair, it's true.
That's true.
Yeah, go on then.
Okay. Credo Kampeta, 25 years old, musician, producer, engineer, songwriter, friend. How are you?
Not too shabby, actually. I'm all
It's so like serious. Such a pretentious intro, man.
Yeah, I'm chilling, man. You know, just it was got here a little late. I went to the wrong place, but got here in the end, and we're having a good time, aren't we?
It's
And
fantastic.
lovely time.
I did not vote for the accent.
Am I gonna have to? Shall I do that again?
Nah, there's no reroll. That's how the world
That's the
knows you.
Credo. Oh gosh.
Nice.
Yeah.
First question, because we're super serious. What is your first musical memory?
I'm really thinking about this. I want it to be right. I think my first CD was Backstreet Boys' Greatest Hits.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd either be between that or just like watching MTV and being like, "Oh my god, what is this?" I think it was specifically. I think it was an Eminem music video. I was like, "Wow!" Funnily enough, but
So your phone, Ross.
All right. Who is it?
I can't believe you didn't flight mode that.
Might be EBGB.
oh,
Hello?
What you answered it?
I would want to talk to you about job. Please add me on WhatsApp.
Have you flight moded
Yeah,
it?
I've flight moded it. Sorry.
gosh,
My bad.
not to worry.
You're a really professional presenter.
Fuck off. Last time, it's exactly the same as last time. We got 4 minutes in and I realised I didn't hit record properly.
Yeah, you
Oh,
did it on
man.
the first one as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You
You can intro because I did not like my intro.
What do you mean? We've already started. This ain't like.
Fuck off! No, we're cutting that out.
Nah.
I'm professional.
Nah, mate. This is like.
It's
It's
just
got to be
chill.
raw.
I don't make mistakes.
mistakes
The
don't
world-
exist.
this is
Exactly.
not
It's
done,
part of the flow. It's part of the perfect.
It'll be chill.
plan.
It'll be chill. It'll be Gucci. Gucci. Should have chose a better word.
Gucci, what's wrong with Gucci?
It'll be grand.
Why not Gucci?
I don't know. It just felt dated.
That's true.
Gucci is
Yeah.
proper 2010.
Yeah,
Grand's timeless.
exactly. You know, that's why they call it a grand piano.
Mm.
They were like, that's a timeless word. Can't use Gucci here. Gucci piano.
It's also got the word Gucci in it.
Nothing wrong with the Gooch.
For fuck's sake, yeah, I'm not having that.
I'm sorry, I
Christ.
took it too far.
That's my fault. I mentioned Gucci's. Rule number 1 of podcasting: don't mention Gucci's in the first 5 minutes.
Uh,
And
Yeah,
this
let's
is-
crack
I was
on.
going to wear a Gucci jumper today as well.
I should have just come in all Versace, like so off-brand for me.
Versace on the floor.
Credo, what was your perspective of like getting involved with the album and the recording sessions, and like how did it appear for you?
Super exciting. I think, yeah, as a result, I started to get more involved in the scene in general and in what specifically the LTB was doing, what was going on there. And yeah, I think it was a turning point in terms of how how I felt about the community and how and where I felt the community was going, to be fair. I always felt like there was a lot of potential, and there were tons of like great things going on, but in smaller pockets. But with the LTB and with coming onto your project and seeing so many people collaborating to work on this one great thing, yeah, it just, I guess, expanded my horizons and like strengthened my faith in the capacity that the community had to in terms of reach, and I guess in terms of impact and collaboration. It was really nice to see. It definitely inspired me as well. I think yeah, it was like yeah, a lot of good things. pretty good album, I'd say. Pretty good.
It's alright.
Yeah,
It's not bad.
not too shabby.
It's not too shabby. Yeah, man. Where are
Yeah.
you at musically, personally, at the moment?
Where am I at musically? Right now, I feel like I could. I should probably release some stuff of my own, and I'm working towards that slowly but surely. And then after the fact, I think I'd like to cocoon a little bit and just be a bit more reflective and a bit more look at my craft and what I'm doing with a bit more of a critical eye and see, you know, where I can improve and like put those things in place. I think it's necessary to go through seasons of like, I should probably work on this for a little bit before making or creating or collaborating. And it gives you a chance for like a natural break. Yeah.
Nice. Who would you say are like your biggest influences?
Mm-hmm. I think the answer changes a fair amount. I think it's good to be flexible influence wise. I think I mean it's not a who, but growing up in the internet period, like I think it's a unique it's had a unique reaction when it comes to influences and stuff. I think there's definitely a change in sound, or like a quality of sound that you can, I guess, say the internet contributed to. Kind of like the meshing of sounds and genres and the hyper niches that are available now and this, that, and the third, but also like opening up so many different cultures to so many different people all at once was definitely big. In terms of outside of that, I started off like when I was writing and stuff. I was very much, I would have called myself much more a guitarist than like a songwriter or anything else. So like guitar forward sounds took precedent, and also like what I was learning guitar wise was would have made an influence. So like Prince. Used to listen to a lot of like Foo Fighters, Chili Peppers, Paramore, and then singing wise, listen to a fair bit of soul. Tracy Chapman, Aretha Franklin, James, and people like that, and then like going into like more modern sounds, like and modern influences. Oh no, can't forget Stevie Wonder. I think he was a big one. Remains to this day. But yeah, I think got more and more interested in like electronic music too, like J. Paul, James Blake, in that kind of world. And there are a few others, but I think that paints enough of a picture,
Yeah.
sound wise, I guess.
When you were growing up, was there like was there music around your parents and around your house? Were they like musicians, or was it something that like you pursued on your own, or was there like a family member that introduced you, or?
I forgot one of the artists. NERD was a big influence for me as well. I'd listen to Fly or Die a lot. It was like one of the few CDs I had. I just ran out. Sorry, I just had to.
That's cool.
But to answer the other question, I think growing up I didn't realize how I guess musically inclined my family were. Not to say that they were artists and musicians and singers in their own right, but music was still quite a present part of our lives. Yeah. We'd listen to music in the car, and it'd be a lot of it'd be a lot of like choral music that my mum brought with her from back home, kind of church stuff. My dad was into like a fair bit of like 80s French, and they growing up they both were in choirs, like church choirs. So they'd sing around the house or like come around the house and whatnot, which I guess rubbed off on me. But in terms of like prospects and like professional directions, I don't think there's anybody I can point to family wise from that generation. But I feel like my cousins, a lot of them have pursued like more creative careers, which is nice to see. A few cousins that are poets and musicians, photographers, film writers. It's a good mix, but yes. To answer the question, I'd say yeah, but not professionally.
So how old were you when you got a guitar?
The first guitar I got where I was, I think I got one for either my fourth, fifth, or sixth birthday.
Young.
Yeah, I was young. I don't know. I'll try to have a look for the photo. It might be on my phone somewhere, but yeah, had no idea what to do with it, and I think I like smashed it up within like 2 months' time.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, but off the back of that, the passion like lingered, and the interest to learn was still there. So in primary school, I managed to sign up for guitar lessons, and yeah, throughout primary school, I think from like year 4 onto year 4 to like year 10, I was doing guitar lessons. Started off classical guitar, and then moved on to electric, and then more neo soul stuff, R&B influence, and then just whatever I could find. Year 11 was where I started to. The end of year 11 was where I started production, and learning guitar as a result was like a big part of my sound, as I mentioned before. So I kind of learn guitar wise, like things that would translate well production wise. So there was a lot of bedroom guitar, kind of bedroom production guitar that I'd pick up, and started listening to like Steve Lacy's stuff and really liking it, and the processing, and kind of took that on a little.
Nice.
Yeah, I was going to say, when did you start like mixing, playing guitar and singing?
I think when I started like presenting that, it was like some point in secondary school, like maybe year 9, year 10. I think I'd always like played and sung to some extent when I was younger, but I didn't start taking it seriously until secondary. Well, I say seriously, but a little more seriously until secondary school. I got put into like cover bands a fair bit because in music class, I just picked out a few people and just mashed us together. I'm still friends with a few of them now, actually, but yeah, we were bad, but we were passionate, and yeah, spent a lot of break times and lunch times like jamming and learning stuff, and it became like a comfort and a way for me to like reflect and also communicate. So I started to like try learn stuff on my own, and I think like the first big moment was like learning. I made a cover of Fast Cars. I think I dedicated it to my dad. Maybe it was like Father's Day or his birthday. I can't remember. But I was like, I've got nothing. I'll learn a song. And then I ended up, making this cover. And then I think I entered a school talent show.
That's on
with it as
YouTube,
well.
that video. Because I was trying to show someone some of your music on YouTube. That cover is on YouTube. Is it?
I hate that that exists. But it exists. It exists, and yeah.
It was a good cover, man. Nice. What?
It was interesting. Well, what I was wearing at the time, but yeah.
I need to check.
Was I wearing the hat?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think at the time, I was also a big fan of Jordan Kampeta.
Right.
He went to the same secondary as me, and I think there was like a 4 year gap. So seeing him do stuff inspired me to be like, okay, maybe I should like give this a go. And then, I mean, I guess that translated into what I was wearing. He was big on hats then. I was like, okay, it'll be fine as long as I wear a different hat. And I just chose the worst possible. But hey, we will have an awkward style phase, I guess. But yeah, learned the cover, did the talent show, got 3rd place. I was like, okay, maybe there's something there.
Can you imagine beating Credo in a talent show? That'd be on my wall.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I bet there is someone out there now.
Yeah.
Some 25-year-olds like got it above their fireplace.
Yeah. Some weights came out. What? How?
Sure. But yeah, they were very deserving, second and first place. They did the thing. But yeah.
Because I think your guitar style, like now what it's evolved into, I always think it's really vocal. Like you sort of, because I know there's this thing with like jazz guitarists, like you'll sing what you play. Did you do any of that, and like what informed that kind of more vocal style of guitar playing? If you know what I'm on about, it might not make sense.
I guess that was like more a recent thing. I think I definitely wanted the vocals and the guitar to marry a bit more. Want to try and like play around with different voicings and chords. But I think it was more so from like a neo soul kind of perspective, more so than a jazz background. I feel like I'm still learning a bit more. I think I still need to learn a bit more about jazz and jazz guitar before I can like claim that. But yeah, it was definitely wanting to marry the two instruments. One, because it makes it easier to play. I feel like whilst I'm doing like, if I'm doing something different on the guitar, like if it doesn't match, then it's just much harder to play. So I wanted to grow the sound, but still be economical, I guess.
Is it like that? I don't know if this is the right term because I've only ever heard this term used for like weightlifting. But is it that like mind muscle connection in that like what you're singing and what you're playing, it just makes it all like blend better?
Well, I guess so, and I think to a fault actually. I think I'm noticing it's starting to like I'm having to like train myself out of it in certain points, like when it comes to harmonizing with people and stuff. I think I struggle with that a little bit at the moment, because I think I feedback from what I'm hearing them do. The same way I'd feedback from like myself playing guitar, but it's not coming from me, so it confuses me a little sometimes, or makes me like a little less confident commitment wise. I feel like it's a but to a fault. I think there's definitely like a relationship that's been built, and I definitely feel more. All right.
Oh my god.
Gosh.
Jesus.
Good.
I think so.
Yeah.
I was really red for a bit.
It's alright. It's alright. I think you're the odd one out now. You need to have a bit of a coffee fit. I've had one.
Yeah, we'll see. It might be coming. I'm not gonna like tempt fate.
Yeah, let me not wish
that
that on you.
I'm trying really hard not to cough.
Oh man, no, just cough it out. I'm sorry. Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, muscle mind connection. Yada yada. What was I saying?
You were saying about how it can confuse you on stage when you're trying to harmonise with other people.
Oh yeah.
And that you're trying to like get away from that a bit more.
Yeah, so definitely muscle mind. But I feel much more comfortable like in front of an instrument as a result as well. Like I feel very weird singing or performing with that one.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I think that's quite a common thing, but with like guitarists and instrumentalists. But I feel very very bare without the old guitar.
Naked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting because like when we were recording for the album, like when we brought you in, I noticed that like for you to form vocal ideas, specifically like harmonies and stacks and things like that, it takes you a while to like you have to hear it quite a few times and to get the confidence to deliver it. Is it that you're trying to build a picture of like where the vocal's going to fit, or you are just like psyching yourself up and getting ready to perform and be vulnerable, or is it a bit of both?
I think it's a bit of both. I think probably more so like figuring it out and scoping it out. I think I'm a bit more comfortable in like a recording, producing setting. Usually it's around people that I feel like are of the same mind, and it's not necessarily a performance than it is like creation, like we're building something. So I guess there's less of a spotlight that way. But yeah, there's still definitely like that slight awkwardness. But I think it's more so the awkwardness of like, performing or singing something new, and then becoming more confident with it as you go on.
Yeah, that's
as
true.
you're learning where it sits.
Because it's not like the way that you'd build a song, or like the melody that you'd use, or even like the rhythmic structure. So I suppose there's a bit of like unlearning of your own vocal habits and stuff that has to happen and stuff like that. Maybe.
I'd say it's pretty present in like my personal process. The same amount as like my collaborative. I think it's just good to, or maybe, well, when you have the time, I think it's good to just kind of blank slate it and see where it wants to go, as opposed to like get used to one process and be like, this is how I do harmonies, and this is what you get, kind of thing. But not. Then again, I think there's value in that, and creating systems, and there's creativity and an art form there. But I think personally, currently, I generally spend more time trying to piece it together. Focus on it all as like a new thing.
I really love like your inputs when we were doing the recording in LTB. I think like you proper transformed. I think the first song you came on, was it Be Here Now, the first one, or Sinful Man?
Yeah, I think it's Be Here Now.
I think like when you came in, I think it was just like Sunday afternoon, wasn't it? Like the LTB was all closed and we were recording on like the first floor.
Mm-hmm.
And I just had like the straight vocal line, and it was all quite like dum dum. Like audio, it sounded great, but I think like your vocal melody just completely took it to like a new level, like the song, and I was just like super impressed and just like loving it as well. Like, and when you say like it's not much a performance, I think you do. I think you did have like a big performance on it, like, and it was like, yeah, I loved it, man. I think it like really created depth, and I think like you added that again on like Sinful Man, and like with Sinful Man we like ended up. Russ done his thing with production, like doing whatever he does to create the end piece between you and Sean. But like we're using like the weird tactics of like putting like the mic in a hallway and you singing in the bedroom. And so yeah, I think where I'm leading to with this is like how much value do you see in like experimentation, because opposed to being like having your own way of doing things, I think as well personally it's very valuable to teach each. You kind of remember lessons of the past, but you also want to like expand on it as the new idea or new time approaches or like presents itself. And I think like that adds to the depth of like songs or music, or even just like learning what does and what doesn't work. And like during that that was like complete vocal. It wasn't like you didn't have to hide behind the guitar, and it was like really powerful. And I don't think you hide behind the guitar either. Like I think it's just like part of you as an artist. Like it's an instrument, you know. And it's just the best way to communicate certain things. And I think like we probably have different times in our lives where we use like different instruments for different roles. Like it could be a pen, it could be your voice, it could be the guitar. I was listening to like an Andre 3000 podcast yesterday, and he's like playing a flute, and he's like got loads of woodwind instruments, and I think it's like constantly being like open in the pursuit of like art, and there's always going to be like seasons for different things. Because I definitely used to feel like I love just like with the guitar as well, but now I kind of feel more comfortable on stage not having an instrument, because I feel like I can really like sink in to the role of a vocalist and performer, as opposed to like with other stuff. But then I love playing the piano as well, because I feel like you can really feel the way through a piano. And it's like got that different kind of it's got that different kind of energy, and like you can really settle into it. I think there's something to being sat at it. I feel like that I really love. I was really impressed as well with your contribution on the piano on like Grow Old and Be Here Now, where we went and recorded that in Andrews, in my brother's, and like your level of piano playing was incredible as well. And like even the organ part you came up with for Designer Kaleidoscopes, that was like a Dawsy sound on the second part of Kaleidoscopes. Yeah.
And I was like, what's going on? I was like, I've never heard anyone
Yeah.
play like
It's
this.
like a loop. It just reminded me like the Doors, but
Yeah.
like powerful. So when did the piano come in?
First up, thank you. Too much praise. You flatter me too much. But I think, yeah, creatively, there was a lot of feeding back from you guys and the environment that you guys created for me to do that stuff. So it really was a collaborative energy that we worked on. In terms of piano, my parents were pretty big on us, like all of me and my siblings having some kind of musical background, you know, for like brain food reasons, this, that, and the third. And piano was something that we learned collectively. As a result of that, I think we started lessons when my siblings were in like primary or something. And did that for maybe like 2-3 years.
Was there one in the house?
Yeah, there was one in the house that we use. Still got it now. It's like an electric piano with a few presets. Is it a Casio? I don't think so. But yeah, it's nice. It does the job. Weighted keys and whatnot. But yeah, I think it was classical piano. So it didn't necessarily lend itself to like jamming or like creative stuff. I think that came on later, but it got me to a point where I developed the appreciation for it, and wanted to like explore and learn stuff myself. I'd always come back to it. And then when I started producing, it was a really valuable skill for like translating my ideas and stuff. But yeah, over the years I kind of like tried to polish and sharpen my skills when I could, like summer holidays and stuff. I'd like practice scales and learn a song or two here and there. And yeah, I guess it got to a point where I became more confident to like add it in my production, in a more like raw state, in a more like piano, like front and center state. More so recently. I say recently, like maybe 2-3, like kind of uni time. I think, was there a song in particular that I learned? I don't know, that, I think over time, becoming more and more confident with it, like on my way around the piano, learning scales and songs, coming to a point. Oh, yeah, there was a song. I think I learned Laval's Dameli. And yeah, I've learned in the back of that. Just felt a bit more comfortable, like I guess stealing bits and ideas from that and putting them in places. Yeah, I think it also kind of bridged the gap between like more contemporary sounds and the classical learnings and classical teachings that I went through, and like showed me that there was like a space for it, like in more modern sounding things. And yeah, just after that, I just started to like experiment with it more and like build on it more, be more comfortable and creative with it, and yeah, just start to play around with it more. But by no means do I feel like I'm super confident playing the piano. I think, I guess when I compare it to like my guitar playing, I definitely feel more confident expressing myself on the guitar. But yeah, I love the piano. But I think it comes down to what you were saying before about like the process of experimenting and leaving room for that stuff. I think it's a really, really important part of my craft personally, but something that I recommend. Just because I think that in terms of creativity, like I think the spaces that we're not certain about, we don't know much about. A lot of the times, like where like big breakthroughs creatively are found, by realizing that you actually do like this sound, and it might end up changing your whole workflow or your whole sound altogether. I think it's invaluable for growth as well. Just like seeing and doing things that you wouldn't necessarily do, and combining things that you haven't heard combined before, really inspires in general.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like for a few years, I felt like I've been hiding behind production within music that I make. So I think it's really easy to do that, especially like working in a DAW. It's like so easy to just build loops and sort of not fully learn how to build a song. And I think since I started playing piano like a few months ago, it's like the connection between like seeing where a song can go and building harmony, and like even in terms of like balancing like the frequency range through arrangements. I think that's a really important thing that you've got to be good at as well, is like knowing what can sit where and where there's space for things and not crowding things too much. And I think since doing that, it's just changed my perspective on like building a song. So do you think that like going from, because you sort of, by the sounds of it, you played traditional instruments before you were producing. I had the opposite. I produced before I played instruments. Do you think that producing, like, how do you think that's changed how you view playing an instrument and arranging a song?
I think I guess it opens it up a bit more, like having that awareness and understanding of, like you were saying, the overall mix or the overall composition. I think it allows you to be a little more aware collaboratively, and you find like quite naturally instrumentalists like learn that from collaborating as well, especially like in like church settings where there's a lot of variation in the sounds and the direction they use quite frequently. But I feel like it definitely can open yourself up to that a bit quicker, because like you say, just in terms of where things lie frequency wise was a big one for me, like figuring out that you can't just have 5 instruments that are low mid competing for space. Like it has to, you have to make space and find space and complement instruments accordingly with that kind of ideology in mind. So there's definitely something to be said about that. But it's not to say that it's the be all and end all. But I find that like musicians that produce tend to have like a more acute understanding of that than musicians that don't or haven't had that haven't had as much focus on like looking at the bigger picture. I think it's a good tool to help you look at the bigger picture, which translates very well, like collaboratively.
I think that's going to be quite exciting for you, isn't it? Because you're starting to like figure your way around DAWs and start recording.
Yeah.
Stuff. Have you noticed any changes in like how you'll be the song, like in it being in a DAW, being able to like loop and being able to like.
I'm like coming more to terms with it because I never could do it. I like tried to record on like Logic for years. I like bought a Mac, got Logic, thought I'd try and make some demos, and I like never got on with it. It just never felt right, and I never felt like I could translate what I was playing to it. I just couldn't do it. And then I when I went to the LTB, I met Joe, and he had like an 8-track Tascam, and that like, I just practiced on it one day. I had a go at recording on it, and I was like, I love this. I think it's the physical element.
Yeah.
And that, so like, before that, if I ever recorded music, I literally went to the studio. I didn't try and, I'd record like endless amount of demos on my iPhone, on voice notes. I just put it down and like record a demo, or like however it comes. But I'd never ever use the DAW unless like I was with a professional, like an engineer or producer in the studio. And then from learning the Tascam, it took me like about a month, 2 months to like just work my way around it, and like just practicing probably 2 or 3 times a week. And then I think I recorded like one demo that I was really happy with, and like it kind of got me buzzing, and then I got like really addicted to it. And then I got my own, which is a 12-track, so it had a few extra tracks, but I really loved the restriction of only having 12 tracks, because I feel like what I don't like about DAWs is there's like an endless amount of tracks, so you can just constantly like layer synth parts, layer vocal, do all this and that, and it was like, now I'm only going to get down like what I need. And like I was doing it all I do it all in one take as well, because you can't like chop in and out of it. It's like you have to punch in and do like certain parts, and like usually it's start to finish. And I think like I love like the presence of that, and like how it's just like one moment in time, as opposed to like doing the same part 100 times. I think there's like a time and place for both, and I appreciate both, but just where I'm at right now, I love that. And like from doing that, from like the latter stages of doing that, like a lot of the demos for that album, like Eternal Sunshine, BST, Grow Old, Be Here Now, they were all recorded on the 8-track or the 12-track in the flat. And then it was like, I'll do it to a click, and then I'll take that to the band, or I'll get someone in to record the tracks that I needed. And then like now it's only I've basically learned from you guys about Ableton, really, like just watching you, because I didn't know anything about it. And then I was like, yo, Ableton's sick. And like I've always heard people talking about Ableton, because I was like, when I was a kid, even still now, like I'm a massive Tame Impala fan. Love like that psychedelic sound. I love like, just love it. I love his music. Kevin Parker as a producer, like it's definitely like a great in my eyes. And like it always fascinated me, like his early productions, they were all like, he kind of done it really raw, like in house shares and stuff. And like he just used Ableton, and I was like, how's he get this sound for a DAW? I don't know whether it was like I never got Ableton. I don't think I ever like, I had Logic, so I thought, I never had like an unlimited budget, so it's like I'm not gonna like pay for another one, because I just didn't know how it worked.
Yeah.
So like I just thought I couldn't do it, basically. And then now I'm at a place where I'm like, I've worked out, because you taught me to throw the Tascam out onto Ableton, so you can get like the best of both worlds. Because I think like I love the Tascam for like the raw ideas, and like getting down the first demo and like fine tuning it. But I think like to get it to like that level of like just like a real professional level and like good quality mix, I feel like having a good understanding of Ableton and stuff is like incredibly valuable.
Mm.
So it's something that I'm definitely trying to like educate myself on. But I feel like it will take a lot of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. It's like endless as well. It's endless.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm in the same spot to a degree, where like working with you, Joe and George, who like I always just kind of used Ableton, but I didn't use it the way they used it. Like,
Yeah.
And then like I was working with George the other day, and I was like, literally yesterday I was like copy and pasting something, and he was like, oh, you do it like that, and I was like, teach me. Like I don't know the other way, like help me please.
Yeah.
But it's so fun, that process of like learning different ways, because I think it's like you're learning a way to a better way to get your ideas across quicker, because I think the less time you spend fiddling in menus and setting up tracks and doing this and that, the sooner you're like right into an idea.
Yeah.
And I think the less limitations that you have and the less factors that stop you from doing that, just like you just get it down really quickly.
I think there's a creativity to it as well, where like I was trying. It probably comes through like a mastery, but you can be like too regimented with like Ableton's and stuff. But I love the way like yous will use it. I love like your music on it, Samo's music on it. Like George's stuff's incredible. I think there's like a line of like pushing the boundaries and leaving that leaving the riskiness in it of like just doing a take or an experimentalness to it. I think like if you're using it with that intention, it's gold.
Yeah.
Like, and I think it really like the balance of being like a great instrumentalist, but then pushing the boundaries of like the latest technology is like always going to be like just a recipe for like innovation.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I do think there's I think there's the argument that you know, each door has its own unique, I guess, like flavor, or like, well, each door has its own like strengths
Value,
and weaknesses. But I do feel like developing your skills and strengths as a producer and production, kind of a perspective on production that encompasses both in and out of the box and just like production in general, I think really helps you translate those ideas too. Of course, like your mastery of the tools that you're using is a big part, but the more and more people I've met, the more you realize that the door itself starts to matter a little less, and like as long as you're using it to get the idea across and align yourself with like your creativity and the art and the idea that you're trying to get across, you can use whatever. Like there's a huge BandLab wave. Like you get stories of people like creating craziest albums on like Audacity, on GarageBand, on their phone, and like, you know, a big. I feel like there's a on the internet and like in the producers zeitgeist, there's a big like there's a battle. There's an argument between the doors, and you know, a lot of Ableton users and Logic users kind of stick their noses up at FL users perhaps and stuff like that. But like the stuff I've seen my friends that use FL make has completely like changed that perspective. Like really doesn't matter what door you use, you can create some of the craziest things.
Yeah, like Josh uses FL.
Josh
like
uses
makes,
FL.
like jazz fusion,
you know,
stuff.
and it's ridiculous.
On a DAW that's notoriously known for like making like drill and stuff.
You know,
that's the connotation.
It's like
around
making
anyway.
hip hop.
But it
trap.
don't matter. Like
It really, it doesn't make a difference.
as long as you know how to use it and it works for you.
Yeah.
You can use whatever you want.
Sometimes it's good to not know how to use stuff as well.
For sure, yeah.
Like, because that can unlock some creativity where it's like, I'm not really sure what I'm doing, but like, if you can do something, you don't know what you're doing, there's like, I don't know.
Entire genres are born
beautiful.
off of that. Like the 80s, the gated reverb thing was a mistake, wasn't it? It was like a thing where they had like the talkback enabled.
Yeah.
And it would like apply a gate to the reverb.
Oh.
And they found out a way to sort of record that. And then that became the sound of an entire decade.
Yeah.
And I think that's the benefit of having a DAW. The biggest benefit is that you can record everything, and you make sure that every idea gets down. Because in so many songs, like all of the good parts that are like happy accidents or things that were discovered unintentionally from people. Like someone might play the wrong chord, and you'd be like, oh, that's nice, or like this idea. And that happens from working with people as well, and being in the room and like listening and being really like focused on the idea. So I think that's what was really nice as working with you, is that like whenever we work together, I always sense that you're taking it really seriously, which I think is a very important thing. Like if you collaborate with someone, you've got to just be all in and like really pay attention to their ideas, and even if it's like an idea you don't like, always saying like, oh, like having a comment on that and saying, oh, thank you for saying that and stuff like that. Make sure everyone feels heard.
Yeah.
But do you think that you get that just from collaborating like so much?
Yeah, I think it's collaboration is something that you get better at over time for sure, especially when it comes to music and production. I think your mindset definitely changes the more you do it. I think producing starts off being like a really personal thing, which can be quite difficult to navigate. Trying to like respect two sources of ideas and like come out with something that both parties are happy with, and not being selfish, but also making sure that you get some of your vision across is difficult for sure, especially at the start. I know I struggled with. I think the main thing you struggle with at the start is communication, like being able to communicate your ideas in a way that inspires the other person, but also being able to communicate your differences instead of like sitting with that discomfort, and being able to communicate them in a way that doesn't make the other person uncomfortable but inspires them to carry on. I think are the three really big things to improve on. I know I've been in, like when I started off collaborating with people, I know I've been in tons of situations where I was like, I really want to say something about this, but I just don't want to, ruin the vibe or upset someone or like it to come across the wrong way. So it definitely teaches you a lot of tact in terms of expressing your ideas. I feel like in an honest, supportive and collaborative way. I think that's such an invaluable skill, being able to say yes and being able to say no in the right way.
And putting your insecurity aside as well. It's
Yeah.
like if you come in with any kind of insecurity to like a collaboration, and like the second someone doesn't go with an idea of yours and you just shut down, it's like, well, that's it over.
Yeah,
But you've already ruined the vibe of the session or the collaboration. You're just not gonna. So I almost like try and have a conversation when I'm working with people now about my workflow and be like, this is the way I prefer to work. And I've only really had it once where I've said that and the person's just gone like, oh no, we'll do it my way. And I was like, and it just, yeah. It's very rare that happens, but I think people in Coventry are really given, like really care about each other's music and stuff and like really want to help each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I think you got to be careful to not let ego pollute sessions and stuff like that, because I think like art's not actually like, the art is just like a vessel for the work, and ultimately you've been put in a position to like bring it to its highest level with like everyone in the room. So it's like I think like everyone in the room should be heard, really, and like listened to, and like but like truth should be spoken as well. Like some of like the best things for me have came like when I've been doing something and then someone said, I don't know, like why don't you try this, or like have you, do you know what I mean? It can lead you down a different way, and it's sometimes it's like way better. And like you don't really want to attach too much to it. It's not like art's strange because it seems so personal, especially music. If you're singing and stuff, like it seems so personal, and you can even be writing about like really, really personal things. But like once you put it out into the world, it's kind of everybody's.
Yeah.
And it's like trying to remain true to that while like pretty much the whole way through. It's difficult, but it's like something that like I think we all have to like aspire to embody, like a non-attachment to it, kind of like put it out, do the work, like, and then that's it. Yeah, I think both of you embody that pretty well. I've been quite lucky really, like I think with people I've collaborated with and stuff, seems to be like it's been rare that I've been in a situation where I felt like an ego's like ruined the session as such. You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty thankful that I haven't had to like be around that. If anything, it'd be myself. Like, and I'd have to take myself out of a session. Like sometimes I've been to a session, even personally, and I've been like, okay, I could just feel like something creeping in that's like doesn't feel authentic. Like maybe I didn't sleep right, or maybe I'd been out or something, and I've been like, okay, I don't feel like I'm giving my best here, so I'll just go for a walk, or like I'll go and get a coffee, or like, you know, do something to try and shift it. It's something I notice more in myself than like other people, I think. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you didn't. I interrupted you. I think that not to like deep it too much, but I think that just comes from like the fact that most of the people we're working with in commentary they know, how do I say it? Most of the people we know haven't come from a position of privilege, right? Like they know how valuable it is to make music, because they're reliant on collaboration and being in the room with people to like get their music made. Like they can't afford to just go to a studio and just like pay this amazing producer to make their music for them, and they know every process of like doing it yourself. So I think that makes it a bit more valuable in Coventry. Like that, I think that is the difference. Is like that spirit of everyone working together and pushing each other up, as opposed to being like, this is my music, you're gonna come work on it, and then I'm not gonna speak to you again until I need something. You don't get much of that in Coventry at all.
Yeah, I do think. On top of that, there is a real love for that way of collaborating. I think that there is there's an energy of like transaction when you do it that way. When you're like, I want to be like this, make it for me. Okay, it's done. But I think people in the community are people that have fell in love with the crafting of it in that way, where the journey is. It's the friends we make along the way. No, it's like I don't know. There's a real love for what you can learn, what you can understand about the people that you're working with through collaborating with them, and there's I guess they share that love of the process with the person. So it's like it's a sharing, it's a closeness. It's, you know, being able to share that process with another person. I think that obviously brings dependency, but it's like I don't know. There's an intimacy there, you know, more than anything. You know, like we all have fell in love with creating music, and now we found people that we respect and love that we can do that with now, and that we're able to communicate in a way where we're confident that it will lift both of us up, as opposed to make us feel a certain type of way, which I feel like is the best. It's like what collaboration, what making music together is about, and why there's such a strong sense of community, because it's not just getting to the goal, but it's the growth of the relationships as we continue to create with each other.
Yeah, you just made me realise you don't hear very much when you're working with someone in Cov. You don't hear like them say like, I want to make this thing very much at the start. It's very much just like, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Like I very rarely work with people and they'll be like, oh, I want to make this type beat or like whatever. And there's nothing wrong with that, like doing that, but I think that's not the style that breeds like the most creativity and the most exploration of ideas and pushes growth for everyone. Yeah. Particularly not for me anyway. I'm sure people make that work, but I don't enjoy that.
Yeah, agreed. I think there's definitely space for that, and I have a lot of respect for for that vision and direction when people have it, but at the same time, and sometimes it can be good to have that. But it's definitely a different workflow to just being like, let's make something together.
I guess that's kind of like a band as well. Like you'd see a band more like, we're getting after this style and this mood for this album,
Yeah.
as opposed to like individual producers, because you're kind of just like turning up with like an idea, and it's like because there's been so much collaboration of like, it's always different people in the room and like always different people doing stuff with different skill sets. It's just gonna naturally like kind of breed creativity, I guess. And I think like if no one's like, I think even what you spoke about earlier, how like we've all been kind of brought up in an age of genre mixing and genre collaboration. Like you can have like, I know people who make like rock, hip hop, jazz, neo soul, and they'll put every song on the same album, and it's all like, even sometimes the same songs can blend genres, and it's like I feel like that's been a real blessing of this time, because no one's kind of attached. It seems like, well, if you look back at like scenes and stuff going back as like the 90s, the 80s, like even the 2000s, you had like the indie scene or like the grime scene, and it's rare you had crossovers. You had some cool crossovers, like you had like Dizzy Rascal and Arctic Monkeys doing a crossover,
Madness.
which was cool. But like in general, people kind of had their groups and their lanes, and I feel like that, especially where we are anyway, what we're doing, that's not the case. Like, I don't know about the rest of the country, I don't really know what's going on, but like in general it seems like there's a lot more openness to collaboration, and it's like, I like that, and I feel like that brings out stuff that's like you just wouldn't expect to exist, I guess. And
Yeah.
like, I enjoy that part of it.
Yeah, happy accident.
It's like a freedom to it.
But it's not just music as well, it's different art forms. Like there's so many people collaborating with different skills. Like you think about the amount of people we know in Cov that like do this, you know, and they're all trying to work together in different ways. What would be great is if we had some animators in Cov. That would be really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that'd be really exciting. I think
Animators wild.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they'll turn up at some point. There's a lot of talent in Cov. But I think we've definitely gotten to a point where there are more hubs being created and like more awareness of what's going on. I think we can still do with like bridging that gap a little more, you know. Cov is like semi-big, you know. Big and small in many regards. But I think there are still some nooks and crannies, interesting phrase, that aren't as like connected to what our awareness of the community is. But it's a matter of time, I feel like.
Speaking of that, I know this is going to be a really like introspective thing for you to think of, but if you say like 5 years from now, right, what are some like, and maybe you're not in the space to be thinking like this at the moment, because not everyone's thinking forward all the time, but like what are some core like musical and life goals that you want to tick off? It doesn't necessarily have to be anything that's like crazy ambitious. Like I know actually I won't spoil it, but I know one of them. But it might just be something as simple as like having a better work-life balance or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. I think that'd be a huge one for me. I think there's a lot of life to be lived. To be fair, we were talking about it earlier. I feel like for quite a while, I saw music as this vessel to like allow me to explore like the most of the world. When I looked at like all the skills that I had to offer and could develop, I was like, I like music the most, and I feel like I have enough drive to develop my skills to a point where I feel like I'll be able to use it to to open doors that wouldn't be accessible to me otherwise. And I got really focused on that. And I'm coming to a point where I'm like, though that would be fantastic, like it's not to say that it will be a linear journey. And it's important to balance the other things that I value and hold space for in my heart, because I can't just keep sacrificing parts of myself and commitments that I have on this, to this idea that it's just part of what you have to do to quote unquote make it. I think, yeah, over the past few years, I maybe romanticized that a little too much, and as a result, put myself mentally, spiritually, financially in not great places. But yeah, right now, when I look to the future, I see myself more well-rounded. I think, to be fair, even more immediately than like in 5 years' time. A lot can happen in 5 years, to be fair. But I think a priority right now would be creating that balance. Because what I'm working on, like the art and like the music, the creation of it is an extension of myself, and if I keep chipping away at myself, I can't really expect the art to not to take a toll as well. So just being a more well-rounded person in general, looking after myself more, and growing myself more evenly in like different parts of life, and trusting that it will feed into the art and into the music as opposed to take away from it, is a priority in that. And if it takes 5 years, it'll be 5 years well spent. But yeah, hopefully it doesn't. I think more so musically, I think it'd be really good to just get stuff out there. Maybe would be a good start. Have a real habit of hoarding stuff. But yeah, release stuff. Explore, collaborate. Just expand, I guess, everything that we're doing and trying to do. Just like grow the playground that we do it in, and develop. Just grow that, because I feel like what we're doing right now is really beautiful, and to scale that up as far as we can and kind of practice our artistry in that would probably, not to speak for everyone, but I think that wouldn't necessarily make the community unhappy, I'd imagine. So
I think everyone says the same thing.
yeah.
When I speak to everyone, they say they want to be doing this on a bigger scale and finding ways to work with each other and unfortunately make money from it as well.
It has to be
So,
sustainable.
yeah.
It does, and that's the world we live in. Yeah, I think sustainability was a real big one. I think it changes a lot of things for people. So even from a creative perspective, there's I think what comes after that is behind a closed door, which makes me curious how it will change like the craft and stuff. But yeah, being at a point where I'm like, I know this is sustainable and giving me enough money and resources to continue this indefinitely would be a really powerful thing.
I'm excited to see you on a full tank. I feel like since I've met you, I feel like the most I've seen you at is like probably about 70% maybe, and that's probably when I met you.
Yeah.
But I feel like definitely I've noticed with you for the past like few months, not to get like too personal, but like I think you definitely seem more well balanced in general. I don't want to speak for you, but it seems like, you know, you're not giving away as many pieces of yourself and leaving a bit left for you. Not to like, I think that's like paraphrasing one of the lyrics in one of your songs, but.
Oh, you cheeky bugger, you! Oh, I see what you're doing. Yeah.
So you'll have to release that before this podcast.
We do need Credo music. The world needs to hear his music.
Oh man,
definitely.
That folder you sent me. Oh my god.
Wait, which folder is this?
You sent me a folder of like 4 or 5 songs that you're working on. Like.
Oh yes.
The first time I saw you perform, I shed a tear.
Yeah, same.
I was like, what? I was like, what is this? And I was like, no way.
Yeah,
and then like when you've showed me like music since, it's like mind blowing.
Oh, thank you.
I think it's a matter of just like sharing it to the world.
Yeah.
I think like with art as well, it's one of them things where like the more you give, the more you get, and it's about like an output thing. And it's like once you like put it out, you give room for more to come in. Because I think like there's a bit of us attached to each piece, and it's like once we let it go into the world, we kind of heal it or let go of it or whatever we've done, brought light to it, and then that leaves more to be alchemized, like more to come through.
Yeah.
And it's like
100%
it just helps us develop and like pick better routes to take, and like just they appear for us as well. Like, I think like putting stuff out is like one of the most valuable things. Like the moment it's out in the world, it's like a success, regardless of like anything. Like once you've put it out, you've basically completed the work.
Yeah.
That phase of the work.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think like I'm excited for your journey. I'm excited to be a part of it and see it, and like just experience like these early stages.
Thank you,
but
man.
like I think your music will like touch and move a lot of people.
No, it really will. Like
yeah.
I've been fortunate enough to see a few people see you live for the first time and like be exposed to your music. And like everyone from like my mum, my dad, like my partner, like friends, family, like they always like remember that first time they've seen you live, and I think that's a really powerful thing to be able to like give to people, because I think it is a service that you're giving to people, and also to be able to like experience yourself. So hopefully when the time does come and music gets released, just as many people that can feel that as possible.
Yeah, people
not even
need
from
that.
a perspective of like commercial numbers, but just
nah,
from a
like
perspective
for love.
of like literally, yeah, because I think there is so much like heart and soul in your music, and I think it's going to be really powerful when people hear it and it resonates with them, which it will.
Thank you.
Not to put too much pressure on you, sorry about this. Like, no, because it will happen. Like it's just something that's gonna happen. When it happens.
Yeah, I feel like the only thing in the way of that is time.
Exactly. Yeah, but it's worth waiting for.
But that's why the journey is beautiful as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually, that song you sent me the other day, your demo, it wasn't even a demo, that song you sent me.
The song with Credo,
yeah. I was playing it the other day, I was here, I was chilling, my mum was here, I was just playing it on the laptop. I was like, who's that? I was like, oh, it's Ross's song with Credo. And she was like, that sounds amazing. It is. I remember you that recording session, coming in on that session as well, when you were recording that. I was just like,
did all of that in like an hour.
Not even. Amazing Grace.
Yeah, not even. It was like, I literally popped in for about half an hour. I was just like, sweet, I'm ready to like go. Like sit in a field.
I feel that as well. Like I feel this weird thing for me because I've got music that I've been sitting on for like a year and a half.
Oh.
I played it to a couple of people, and I realised that I've got like 3 EPs of music like just waiting. And I'm like, I've almost disassociated from the music to a degree now, and I wonder if you have the same, where like I'll play it to someone, I'll be like, oh yeah, I've got that, like that can just be released, like that's done. And it's weird because you remember that you made it. But it's that thing you were saying about once you've made something and it's got to a point of like nearly being done,
Yeah.
you're almost getting ready to let it go and forget
Yeah,
about
you
it.
like get over it. If you look at the greats as well, like you look at like pretty much any form, any genre, like it's prolific output. Well, not everyone. Like Jeff Buckley put out like one album, and then like his second album got like pieced together.
Yeah.
Like, even like Lauryn Hill, but like
Yeah,
a lot of
exactly.
people. I come from more of a sense of like I think about like Bowie, and I think about like just like the Beatles, even like
Yeah.
there's like mass amounts of music comes out, like hundreds and hundreds of songs, and there's a few gems in there, and it's like it creates like a good way of workflow. Like you don't, because I think what I didn't put music out for ages either. I think that's why I didn't put music out till I was a little older than I probably should have. I was sitting on it and I was like kind of like waiting, and like I realised that the best moment's always now, and
Yeah.
it's like it. You don't know how valuable it can be for the community and for people. Like really, it's like all like 'cause you've kind of been like blessed with things from like a higher source, whether it's like God or the universe. Like you've been given like the responsibility of this thing, and it's like your only responsibility is to let it go again. Really.
Yeah.
And it's like there's no like it doesn't matter. You just get it to like the best of your ability, and sometimes that requires 5 years, or sometimes that requires 5 minutes. Like really. But I think we like need to make sure that we're not holding on to things for like the wrong reasons. That's what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
time. Yeah, I think it's easy to fall into that trap, and admittedly, I feel like I've got a lot of correcting to do in terms of, writing, getting stuff out there, because I feel like it has been too long.
It's difficult in these times as well, because I feel like now, like it seems like everyone that releases music, everything's so visual now. I know people used to have like music videos and stuff, but now it's like everything seems so visual, and it can create like obstacles with like, I want to put this out, but I need like a short video, or I need like this or that, but like we don't need that. That is great if you can do it, but like ultimately, like if you haven't got the result, we've always got what we need, like all the time, what is around us, like what we need to have. So like it's almost like a form of procrastination, you know, to like wait for something that's like not even in the pipeline. Like if we like, for me for example, I'm thinking like, I'd love to have like for an album, I'd love to have like 5 videos made and all this and that, but then it's like I can't even get like 1 made. So like, does that mean I'm just not gonna do like carry on with the other work for this amount of time? But like sometimes we need to just get stuff up to a stage where like we can get it to, and then like something will appear once we get our work done up to a certain level.
Yeah.
And then like once we get to that level, we might not know how it's going to get to that finishing stage, but like something will happen.
Yeah. I think for sure. There's I think for me personally, the saying that perfection is the enemy of progress has been like really it's been truer than ever, really. I think I think I hold on to the stuff that I'm working on because I feel like with a bit more time I could like polish it and refine it and get it to sound better, but it just gets to a point where and it's much sooner than I before thought it was, but it gets to a point where spending too much time has diminishing effects on your overall growth as an artist and as a practitioner, a musician, or a creative, and an artist in general. The skill comes from feeding back from how the world sees it and refining that. Like you offer it to the world, you have to release it, and you have to start new things and allow yourself to process new thoughts, new ideas. And if you don't let yourself do that, you could have written like the best first piece of work ever, but your 500th piece of work is gonna, blow that out of the water. It's gonna be effortless, but you're stuck on that first step, getting that perfect. And yeah, I think it's very easy to cement yourself into that process of like chipping away at stuff, and maybe there is something to be said about that process and those things. But as you were saying before, the like obviously there are exceptions, but when you look at artists that are held to high regard throughout history, a connecting factor is how much art they generated and how much they practiced their craft. It's far beyond 10,000 hours. I don't know where that came from, but I feel like that's like the tip of the iceberg, really. Like, you learn the skill then, but then to master something can take like lifetimes,
I don't think you
careers.
can. I honestly don't. Like, I don't think you ever reach a point of not being able to learn and not being able to improve at something. I just think it's a myth that you can get to a point where like no one's got anything to teach you. And I think when you reach that point and you start thinking like that, you might as well just give up, because like you've reached this level of like arrogance to where you're like stuck in your ways and you'll never improve. And I think that's just a really like narrow-sighted way to live your life, and I don't ever want to be at a point, even if I'm like 80 or whatever, where I think I've got nothing yet to learn.
Yeah, I think
learning's the fun.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of sad when you think about the idea of having completed something like that. It's like exactly as you say. Learning is the fun. Like discovering that new combination, or like finally getting that piece. Like that's where the joy is, or finally being able to portray that idea, that world, that emotion, like these steps, those revelations. I think that that in general is the driving factor. And like if you can't feel that, then it's not alive.
Yeah.
That sounded a bit more profound.
Nice. That's a lot.
No, it is. I think you have to feel that with everyone as well. Like everyone's got something to teach you. I think doing youth work's really helped me with that, because like you might come in with a connotation of like what young people are like, or like what a certain like, I don't want to say group because that sounds like I'm targeting people, not at all, but like you know what I mean, like you have these connotations of what young people are like nowadays, but then you pick up these little pieces and learn things from young people, and then they'll just drop these pieces of wisdom, or like surprise you in ways of being more compassionate than you maybe thought they might be, and you sort of unlearn that like arrogance, I think. And I think youth work's really helped me doing that, and I wonder if it has for you.
Oh, 100%, yeah. I think, not to say that I was necessarily arrogant, but I think to be good at youth work and to like develop good relationships with young people, the main thing you have to do is just meet them at that level and like give them the respect that they deserve. Because though they've got a lot to learn, they've got so much to teach too. And yeah, as a youth worker, there's obviously a duty to mentor and teach them and guide them through the decisions that they may not necessarily be too well versed in, but there's so much to learn from them as well. And I think the best relationships, the youth workers that are able to develop the best relationships with, or any relationship with a young person, are those that understand that. I think, when a lot of youth workers go into schools and stuff, there's like this, a lot of teachers are like almost mystified by how they're able to connect to young people.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if those same that same group of teachers that are mystified by that process could do with learning to appreciate how much young people have to offer, how much wisdom and wealth and knowledge is in just meeting them at their level. But translating that, I think that this is a really valuable skill to have in general anyways. I think it's one that I'm still learning to apply to different circumstances, but like giving space and time for things to teach you, and like being able to find lessons in more things, and being able to respect more things, more people, is really valuable for having stronger relationships, but also just like enjoying life more. Comes down to like being able to learn stuff and like have those revelations more. I feel like helps you feel more alive.
Yeah, definitely. I think I've been surprised by how much I enjoy doing youth work now. When I first started, I found it really difficult, like, because it is tough. It's not easy, especially if you're someone who's maybe a little bit anxious or whatever, or you've got, stuff like that going on. But now it's just like, I don't know, you'll see, I don't want to sound too pretentious, but you'll see like glimmers of humanity like in young people. Like, we had this thing, I won't say specifically what it is, but at one of the groups for one of my youth work jobs that I do, we had someone reveal something really vulnerable, and like everyone in the room was just so like unbelievably great about it. And these are people ranging from like 12 to like 17, and I think seeing stuff like that and being exposed to stuff like that enables you to treat other people like that and be a better person. And I do think that I'm a better person because I do youth work, and I don't think there's many people. There's definitely people that shouldn't be youth workers as well, like that treat it just like a job, and just like you hear like the same things over and over again of like people just being like, oh, stop, or like, oh, this young person's this and that. Like, you hear a lot of that, but the people that really get it, I think it does make them better people and serves them in completely different parts of their life in really weird ways. Like, it was so surprising to me. I don't know if it's been the same,
Yeah, it definitely helps you develop skills beyond your youth work. And that definitely goes from job to job, but helping young people navigate their challenges and their chaos is definitely forces you to reflect on the way you navigate things. Kind of teaches you to do things a little differently, and I guess also to like speak, like the way you manage conversations and like more intimate subjects. There's definitely a real, I mean, that's obviously, that's a more obvious one, but yeah, you definitely develop a sensitivity and a confidence behind like the way you navigate more intimate conversations.
Cool. Didn't think we'd get onto youth work, but
here we are.
It's just been on my mind a lot recently. Yeah, I think.
Should we wrap up?
Yeah, I think it's been a really nice conversation. There's so much that we could like ask about you, but it'd be like a 4-hour conversation.
We could do it again anyway.
It'd probably get quite existential as
Ooh,
well if we got like into
part
that.
2.
But we haven't like
gone
into any of that yet. But yeah, thank you for the conversation. Thank you for being you, and like really appreciate, like, since I've said this a few times to you, but like since we met, which was over a game of pool, by the way. He's awful at pool. It's like one thing that he's bad at.
It's comical how bad I am. It's like cartoonish.
It was hilarious. It was so funny.
It was.
But yeah, like since that, I just feel like it's unlocked so many doors for me, like meeting someone that has all these musical connections, like coming back from Birmingham and meeting people through you, and becoming a better like producer, engineer, musician, person, all that. Like I do really appreciate that, and thank you for what you did like on the album as well. Like we alluded to earlier, but I really feel like you changed a couple of those songs like for the better. Yeah, and it was really nice to see that.
Oh well, the pleasure and the honor is mine. I think, yeah, it was a collaborative thing, and the stuff that came out was as a result of the inspiration I felt. You know, yeah, it's nice to have been a part of something so big and so community driven, and that has such a strong and good intention behind it. I'm really excited for it. Yeah.
Nice. Me too. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody who listened. Ciao.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra, man.